Hello, and thanks for joining me for another week with Mirree's Dreamtime messages. I hope you had a wonderful week last week. We've got 16 days now until Christmas, and so it's only a little bit over 2 weeks. And so summertime has already started here in Australia, and so we've been getting some pretty hot days here. So if you're visiting from overseas, it's going to be pretty hot. And so I would recommend coming in probably February, as it will not be so hot then, or even at the end of January. But we're starting another new week, and the week is going to be starting the 8th of December and running until the 14th. And so we just have a little bit over 2 weeks left now until Christmas. I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but for those that do, or maybe you're just wanting to do something special that's unique to yourself, and which is a nice thing to do as well, if you don't really celebrate Christmas. But just probably today is going to be the last day of the sale, but I'm sure there's going to be other specials coming up. Like one special that I've got happening at the moment is when you purchase an original painting, you receive a free card deck, Dreamtime card deck for free, and you also receive a free tote bag as well. And so these prizes are worth over $120, free prizes. So you could give 2 of these prizes away for Christmas presents, and that's if you purchase an original painting, and you can keep the original painting for yourself. And so that enables you to take care of 2 Christmas presents, and whilst you're buying something for yourself at the same time. So I'm going to be having that running for the entire month at least, for the moment, and until we have a range of different tote bags that you can choose from. There's this one that you can get, and so when you buy an original painting of Mirree's, then you'll get the free tote bag and free Dreamtime card deck. And there's a link in the description that I'm going to leave where you can choose which tote bag you want to have. You can choose, I think there's about 4 or 5 different ones, or you can receive this tote bag and this Dreamtime card deck for absolutely free when you purchase your original painting from Mirree. So just showing you some of these bags. This one is a smaller one, so you can get this one for free with your Dreamtime card deck when you purchase a free painting by Mirree. So that's over $120 worth. And so if you've got birthdays coming up, or you can stash the presents away for further down the track, because it's important to take advantage of these times over Christmas and when the sales are on, because you know, people don't kind of have those sales on, you know, any other time of the year. And so even if you're not needing something at the moment, down the track you will, maybe for a birthday or for a special occasion, or you know, you want to treat somebody with a gift. And so yeah, it's the gifting season, and so you know, there's never going to be a better time to get some gifts. And so check out my online store for something special for the ones that you love this Christmas, or you know, maybe there's some birthdays coming up that you can get something for them as well. At the moment, also we're kind of going into a waning gibbous moon, and you know, the waning gibbous moon lasts for about 7 days, and it's an idea, like the action steps for the waning gibbous moon is focusing on your ideas, is having focus, and thinking about your ideas and bringing them into some organization, and also having your intentions at the forefront as well. And it's an important time to make a list filled with gratitude to help you manifest more of what makes you happy. Making a list allows you to focus on the very things that is bringing in the happiness, and which in turn you know, makes you feel more fulfilled, makes you feel good, and inspires you to achieve your dreams and your goals. And so so now's a great time to align yourself to your dreams and begin to manifest your dreams through the creation of a strategy by making a list. Focus, follow through, and tune into the feeling of happiness or whatever emotion you want showing up more in your life. Practice this focus through the use of meditation or quiet contemplation. Be consistent and get going. Eventually you will start to see evidence of this dream show up. So the world is your oyster, and consistency is the key. And so on the Friday we're going to be having a third quarter moon, and so the third quarter moon usually lasts for about a day and is the best time for working on yourself through meditation and forgiveness rituals. And so allow yourself to let go or set aside any wrongdoings through forgiveness, which may have come up or impacted you that is no longer serving your happiness. Ultimately, this will help you to continue to focus and concentrate on building the life of your dreams, because you're choosing not to focus on the past or the nuisance and distraction of other people's melodrama. And so the third quarter moon is about taking some steps towards forgiving yourself and forgiving others for any wrongdoings. And so, you know, one of the cards that we pulled out last week was with the kangaroo, I am letting go. So there could have been some patterns to do with fear and doubt coming up that were hindering your progress. Or maybe there were situations from the past that were showing you ways that you were needing to let go so that you could move forward with more clarity and ease for your future. And so that was what the red kangaroo was helping us with this week. And the other card we drew from last week was with the day owl, I am listening. So it was giving us the message to really listen to the deepest part of our heart and soul for any answers that are potentially coming to the surface that are going to be helping us perhaps with the letting go process, or maybe in what we're needing to receive more. And so the solution card that we got was with the Crimson Rosella, I am receiving, and letting us honor the value from within ourselves and you know, the love that we have, and you know, can potentially helps others grow as well as yourself. And so, you know, the self-love is the foundation to every other relationship that you can have. And so, you know, maybe that relationship is more important to you at this time, or maybe having a relationship with someone else is something that's at the forefront for you and more important. And so, you know, that's basically, you know, or maybe that you're in preparation for wanting that to happen. And so that's what the Crimson Rosella was telling us about. And so we're going to be with this brand new week, we've got our Dreamtime card deck, which we've cleansed and also cleansed myself. Every week we pull out 3 cards, and I upload videos every Monday and Tuesday. And so I hope that you can join me every week in unveiling our messages from the Dreamtime and the Holy Spirit, and the messages within nature that are guiding us to live a more fulfilling life, and you know, and dealing with any uncertainty or change during our life as well. So we're just going to be shuffling the cards now and see which first card is guiding us this week into another new week, full of hope and positivity, but also, you know, helping us to face any challenges along the way. Which is, you know, always great to have these kind of guidance and tools where we can have our needs met. And the first card that we pulled out is with Ancestral Bee. I am grateful, letting us know when I acknowledge the things, when I acknowledge the magic and pure divine love that is within me, I feel blessed. I am grateful for everything in my life. And the Ancestral Bee is telling us about how we could be experiencing some kind of pain from the past, and it's helping us to balance out that pain by you know, focusing on the simple things in life. And you know, is this part in us coming up because we're needing to revisit it because it's trying to show us something, or is it showing us that we're learning more about ourselves through being cherishing these little moments within our lives, especially when we can focus on more of what's making us happy. And if we have a look in the guidebook, because the bee is number 27, card number 27, and which is on page 67. And so the action step this week to do with Ancestral Bee is letting us know that experiencing the simple things in life is like a state of mind we want to get back to, or have been trying to reach for some time now. This was a time for us where there was no restrictions or conditions placed upon us. This is what nature teaches us to remember again, teaching us to harmonize our life, balancing out the pain we experienced when we began to grow into an adult. When we can understand our pain more, we become closer to reaching this state of mind, simply because the pain is no longer controlling our lives and we become free from its restrictions. I certainly think this is worth striving for, don't you? Yeah, so you know, any pain from you know, then when we grew into an adult, like there's like the stage of when, you know, maybe from 1 to 7, and then 7 to 14, and then so on and so on. And so we have these different stages in our life where we're learning to become more of ourselves and who we are, and it forms part of our identity and our personality. And you know, so when, you know, there could be a stage between 1 and 7 where you felt like that was the happiest times, and maybe when you were 7 to 14 and that wasn't so happy. And so, you know, it's kind of like taking a view of our life and helping us to kind of focus in we're needing to improve on, or focus in on what we're needing to let go of. And so that we can keep learning from ourselves and from the past and what we've been through. And you guys are going so well, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And we can learn so much through the animals, because and nature, it's a reflection of ourselves basically. And to have this gift for us at this time is really special in learning and understanding ourselves more. And there's no pressure, and we can continue to keep learning as well, and keep rearranging our life, and in a way where we want to experience more pleasurable things, and which is the most further us away from pain, because we have more control now when we're not in the thick of something that's chaotic or hurtful, which can at times happen, and which can also lead us to making wrong decisions even more. And so we're just going to be shuffling to see which card we drew is with the dingo. I am advancing. And so this is telling us again about how much we've been advancing through our stuff, basically advancing through what we've been going through, and being able to gracefully let it go, and just be mindful and in recognition of that, and of ourselves, and valuing who we are, and valuing what we've gone through in our lives, and in and how far we've come. And we tend to always look ahead and go, oh, but we still haven't reached this. But when we can look at it in a different perspective, in a way that what we've already gone through has been life-changing, has been part of a journey that's helped us to become stronger, and has grown our strength and our ability to navigate challenges in our life. And so the second card we pulled out was with Dingo, I am advancing. When I listen to the deepest part of my heart and soul, I'm confident the decisions I make will ultimately lead to my life purpose. And your life purpose can involve what you're already doing. Maybe you're haven't really recognized that yet, or maybe you're yet to recognize. And so there's no right or wrong to do with that. Dingo is 21 card, and which is on page 55. And so the action step to do with the dingo is letting us know that to have trust in your personal guidance system, it's your personal navigation system. And so it's important that you listen to it and to take its advice over anyone else's. You can get other people's advice, but it's not always going to, at the end of the day, it's not always going to be the best advice, because they're not in your shoes and they haven't got the experience that you have in your field. And so it's important. And sometimes people's advice can steer us in the wrong direction, so it's important to use discernment and to do with other people's advice. But so by having more faith in your instincts to show you the way, so that you can continue to make spiritual progress. And so this is what's happening at this point in time, because also there's a cycle that is finishing up, or is is starting. And so that's what the dingo is letting us know, that that we're actually making progress during this time. And so the third card that we pull out, we've probably been pulling out a third card for the last 3 months now, helping us to see, helping us to have a clearer view of our solutions for the week. And like last week, the Crimson Rosella was letting us know that the solution to any problems that you were having last week is to do with your value that you place on yourself, and how much love and that you give to yourself, and the love that you can receive from others. And so that was all giving us advice on what we were facing from last week. You may have been a person that gives more than receives, and so that's why that card was so very important, and the message behind it. And so the other card that we pulled out, wowzers, is the White Cockatoo. I am living, letting us know, when I let go of the past, I experience life again the way it's supposed to be. I am happy to be alive and living. And so it's through the Holy Spirit and Jesus that we can be reborn again. And these reflections show up in nature and the animals all the time. It's giving us the messages. And so at any moment when we step outside into nature, the universe is always giving us its messages from within, telling us what we're currently going through. And so it's also, this card is about being reborn again and going through a rebirth where we're shedding everything from the past, and what's rising up is the light. Light. When I did this painting, which I'm going to be making available for the first time very soon, the White Cockatoo represents the light as well, and it's flying and helping to wake up people. And so that's also what I was thinking about when I was doing this painting. But that wasn't the only message. I was thinking about so many other messages, which I've actually put inside this in this booklet that comes with the card deck. And so the message of the White Cockatoo is card number 15, and is on page 43. And so it's worth getting the card deck just to follow along with the booklet every week. The action step this week is, today is about concentrating on the very things that are bringing in the happiness to your life as a key to make life worth living. And so that goes back to the happiness again, like when we drew the card to do with Ancestral Bee, I am happy. And we're getting that theme of really focusing on that part that we want to experience more in our lives. And it's a feeling, and only you have the key and the answer to this most important question. And so that's where writing down our feelings and emotions and thoughts and intentions is very important, because we can read back at it later, and it helps to give us inspiration and motivation as well. And so it's something like, is what makes you happy something creative, or that you've been working on, or perhaps a relationship that is currently fulfilling your needs? Whatever it is, take note of this happiness. It could be the key to your future happiness. And so just having those thoughts and thinking about this question, and having that as a journal prompt to write down in your diary or your Dreamtime journal, can give you insight into that question even further, and even on a deeper level as well. And so that is the third card that we got. My gosh. And so it's we are really just making a lot of leeway this week, and it's showing up in these cards, and the messages from the animals, and what we're trying to achieve, and doing the work on ourselves. You know, that's how we're going to be making this progress, is through uncovering the layers within ourselves, and through journal work or meditation, quiet contemplation. For me, myself, I love doing meditation, and it quietens down the day, and it helps me to see things a lot clearer. And you know, I love quiet contemplation as well. I think doing contemplation is really wonderful for when you're wanting to just when we can have like a higher perspective on things. Contemplation can be good for when we want to just chill out, like when we have some time out, maybe we've got a day off or something. That's the perfect time to kind of escape from reality and kind of see things from a higher perspective. And when we can do that, you know, sometimes the answers that we're seeking, or maybe a breakthrough, or maybe a flash of inspiration or insight comes. And so that's another thing I love doing. And the other thing I love to do is journaling, because I can look back on dates and I can see progress that I've made, or I can ask myself questions and think about that during a certain time, and then look back on it and go, do I feel differently now about that question, or do I still feel the same? Because I think when we can revisit things over a couple of times and not make decisions hastily then and there, then I think that ultimately we can come to a decision that is best aligned with our true self and our higher self. And so that's why I suggest doing it like maybe a couple of times when we're wanting to ask ourselves a question, and come back and revisit it, maybe over a period of a week, or however long that you want to revisit it for, or over a few days. And so these are the 3 cards that we pulled out this week, with Ancestral B letting us know when you acknowledge the deep magic and pure divine love that is within you, you can feel blessed and grateful for everything in your life. And then with the dingo, that you're advancing when you can listen to the deepest part of your heart and soul. You are listening to the answers that you're seeking, and you know, you're currently going through a cycle during this time, whether you're ending or beginning a stage of life. And the other card is with the white cockatoo, letting us know that we're, you know, basically being reborn again by doing all this. We're being reborn again, and we're shedding all the old aspects from the past, and from things or relationships or people from work or family or whatever it is, that we're shedding ourselves from the past. And you know, when we can do that, we can experience life again the way that it's supposed to be, and when we can let it all go, and that is what makes life worth living. I hope you guys have a wonderful week this week, and as I said, I'll leave the links in the description box. Please comment and like and subscribe and share with all your friends and family. You just never know who these messages will help. And I upload videos every Monday and Sunday, and follow along to see the progress of my paintings, as I'm always painting something new. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.